Next up, at UFC Vegas 101, we got Magomed Gadzhiyasulov taking on Bruno Lopes. Magomed Gadzhiyasulov, 9-0, undefeated in that career. He does have 5 stoppages. He's taking on Bruno Lopes, 13-1 in his career. 4-1 in his last 5. He's making his official UFC debut. This is a good matchup. It's a fun matchup. And for some reason, these odds have not exploded. I expected Magomed to become a tremendous favorite here, but this has remained...
Doesn't surprise me.
This has remained nice and tight, but we got Magomed Gadzhiyasulov. He is a well-rounded guy, solid striking, solid wrestling. He invests in the body early. He'll throw kicks out there, straight punches, and then he'll work the head. He can take some time to find his rhythm, so he's not the fastest starter in the world. But when he does, he's got some very real power. He's not just a striker. He does a nice job sneaking in some takedowns when he needs them. Takedown defense, however, kind of sucks. But if he ends up on top, he's got good pressure and he is solid. He's coming off that UFC debut win over Brayson Ribeiro, where he had 5 offensive takedowns. He's taking on Bruno Lopes, forward pressure striker. He has no problem just pumping volume and staying busy. He starts technical. He throws in combinations, but he can get sucked into a slug fight where he starts just winging from his hips. He's a solid grappler as well with decent takedowns, heavy top pressure, good ground and pound. And 2-1 favorite here for Magomed, and that makes some sense because his takedown defense does suck. So that's probably what's keeping these odds tight. But the takedown offense is there, and I think that's all he's going to need here. Lopes got that good BJJ, but mostly off top, not off his back. And as soon as Lopes gets crazy on the feet, Magomed's going to lower his level, get the fight to the ground, wail away, and get it done. Magomed Gadzhiyasulov is going to be the pick here, and I think 2-1 odds are favorable, honestly. What are we fake laughing at? The kid wearing the heart costume is going to call me names and make fun of me and laugh at me.
How's my...
What's up?
Got the beard lined up. How's that looking? People are liking the beard. There's a few comments on the quick pick video about the beard. People like the beard.
Did you mention it? Were they
No,
unprovoked?
And that was before it was even trimmed. But now it's all trimmed up, looking. Where's your beard?
I didn't shave for 6 days, and I just shaved before this.
Are those hold on a second.
What?
Back up just a touch. Are we seeing cheekbones, Angelo?
I've done nothing but eat. The last 2 months, I've probably gained 15
cheekbones
pounds.
poking out, huh?
I've gained considerable weight over the last 2 months.
I was trying to be nice, but you're right. I mean, it doesn't. You can definitely tell. You can definitely tell you're not. Sorry.
I'm wishing we weren't heading to Vegas right after a holiday break. Woo! That ain't great. Why don't you give us your opinion on this fight?
This is a situation where I feel like Magomed, you kind of mentioned the wrestling, and I'm glad he has that in his back pocket. I honestly, if he comes in and forces the wrestling, I think that's a mistake because if he starts getting tired, Bruno Lopes, I think, is going to be a little bit more live on the ground than on the feet. And he is, good with the jiu-jitsu. He's got, I think more submission wins than knockout wins, even though he's kind of known as like a knockout guy. But I think rolling around while Bruno Lopes is fresh early is going to be a mistake. If I'm Magomed, I come in kind of like he did his Contender Series fight, and I just kind of stay at range with the kicks, the long rangy type strikes, and stay out of firefights because Bruno Lopes, in my opinion, wins this with either a weird submission, when they're scrambling around when he's fresh, or if there's a firefight, he does have power in his hands. But if you stay at range and stay out of his power, you can land shots from range and hurt this guy. I mean, he got knocked out in his first Contender Series fight. His next one, he got dropped again. I mean, this guy is getting dropped left and right. And I think if you're Magomed, you just take your time, point from the outside. Eventually, he's going to give you an opportunity to land a shot. If you land a shot pretty clean, I think you can knock this guy down and maybe finish him. So I wouldn't force the wrestling unless you need it, but it's good to know that he has it in his back pocket. And it's also good to know that we've seen him in rangy fights. His last 2 fights went the distance where, I think 5 or 6 of his 7 regional fights were all first round finishes. So there were kind of some question marks there, but now he can kind of win a grindy fight, even though he's got a lot of finishes too. So I'm going Magomed. He should win. And I put him kind of in like a should win parlay.
I'm with you, man. I do think he gets it done. I wish he had better takedown defense. Obviously, that's a bit of a pain in the ass. But outside of that, I think we're good. I think we can be safe here. People going wild in this comment section. There's this one dude who came on here, begged us to follow his Facebook page, which we did. and now despises because I said Sirius sucks. It's unbelievable.
He does kind of suck.
Don't tell this dude. Then he started saying the N-word, so banned. Can't do that shit. Anyway, I'm on your side. I agree that Magomed should win. I think the odds are solid. I think there's actually value in the minus 200 because the odds are just indicative of this person's chances to win the fight. I do agree it could be more of a staring contest than a forward pressure, grapple heavy type fight. Therefore, I am going to avoid the $8,800 in DraftKings Fantasy. I'm not going to spend that money because he could end up scoring 70 points in a win just staring at each other. So say good job. I'll say, oh, thank you so much, and then we'll move on.
I wouldn't listen.
All right. Well, if you do want to unlock all the picks, the bets, sounds like Jacob and I both have bets on Magomed here. You can check those out now at WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member at the top. It's freaking $10 an entire month, and we now have an app that will give you all the picks, the bets, the tools, and everything else inside of it.